Larissa Ness, IHP, and today I wanted to talk about all things vitamin B6. So the how, what, when, where, why, and more specifically, who's susceptible to being low in vitamin B6, the signs, and what you can do about it, and dosages, recommendations, of course. There's not going to be any medical advice. Please talk to your healthcare practitioner about what is right specifically for you. But first I want to start off with signs of low vitamin B6. So one can be tingling in the arms or the legs. So that's kind of a general low B vitamin sign if you get tingling in the arms or the legs. And also on the flip side of that, overdosing can also lead to some tingling in the arms or the legs, just by the way. So keep that in mind. Let's see, we're going to talk about, let's do all of the signs. So skin rashes and nightmares and bizarre or disturbing dreams, believe it or not, can even be signs of low vitamin B6. I actually did a blog on this, which you can check out on my website, larissaness.com, if you'd like to learn more about that. Also cracked or sore lips, water retention, low stomach acid, which can lead to GERD or acid reflux. And if that is a new concept to you, I highly recommend going and checking out some of my previous posts on either Facebook or Instagram, or going to my website on my blog, larissaness.com, to learn more. Also, high homocysteine levels is actually a marker of inflammation. And also low energy, feeling sluggish. These can all be signs of low vitamin B6, iron deficiency, headaches and migraines. And a lot of these, of course, can be signs or can be other deficiencies as well. So, for example, they actually found that 50% of migraine sufferers were low in magnesium. So it's not just necessarily all about the vitamin B6, but that's what we're talking about today. Other signs would be tendency towards motion sickness. If you tend to have histamine issues, you can also see the connection there by checking out some of my articles on my blog. But yeah, low B6 can be a tendency towards motion sickness, tendency to get sick easily, honestly. And then the big one that's probably more famous is mood issues. Vitamin B6 is really, really important. It is a building block for neurotransmitters. So anxiety, depression, irritability, increased feelings of pain, both serotonin and GABA help control anxiety and depression. And so you have to think about what are the building blocks? What are the precursors when you're trying to get to the underlying root cause? And that's what I do as an integrative health practitioner. I'm always looking to find what is missing here in the picture. Why would somebody be feeling the way that they're feeling? And so actually one of the things that I highly recommend is you can go through and look at symptoms for a lot of different nutrient deficiencies, but it's really, really ideal to test, especially, unless you're a trained practitioner and you went back to school like I did to become an integrative health practitioner. There's a lot of money and time and frustration that goes on that's wasted a lot of times because people are just guessing. And testing, specifically a more advanced functional medicine testing, can help you get to the bottom of some of these imbalances. And I get the question a lot about, well, why can't I just do my standard annual blood work, and why can't that be sufficient enough? Why doesn't that tell me what I need to know as far as nutrient deficiencies? Why doesn't it show up on my standard blood work? Well, you have to remember that your blood is a homeostatic fluid, and so your body is going to try to keep your blood in check as much as possible. So when it comes to functional medicine testing, we're looking at things like metabolites in urine, and we're going to be wanting to identify these metabolic imbalances before they get so bad that they show up on blood work, or even before they might even show up, with symptoms sometimes. So that's why it's really, really important. If you have done some of these tests to look at, okay, what's happening? We have our zinc, are we low in copper, are we low in vitamin B6? You may not be necessarily feeling bad, and that's a good thing. It's all about optimizing your health, right? So let's go on to talk about why you might be low. So people that have a history of digestive issues are more susceptible to vitamin B6 deficiency, and genetics can play a big role. Pyroluria is actually one of those things where people have a higher need for both vitamin B6 and zinc. I actually wrote about this on my blog on larissaness.com, which you can check out. People that are under a lot of stress, just chronically ongoing stress, 6 weeks plus, and they're having a lot of strain on their nervous system, you're depleting B vitamins. B vitamins get depleted so quickly. Of course, so does vitamin C and so does magnesium. But we're talking about B6 today, and B6 is so important for GABA, the calming neurotransmitter, right? So this can help, moving on to my next topic, it can help people with PMS symptoms and estrogen dominance symptoms. So estrogen dominance is when you have a higher ratio of estrogen relative to progesterone. So we do a special test called the stress, mood, and metabolism test. And with just a simple sample of saliva, we can see if you have a low PG to E2 ratio. And this is something that's not picked up on standard blood work. And this is what causes a lot of PMS symptoms, period pain, a lot of issues for ladies. And we don't want to let this stuff go, because long term, if you've read some of my previous posts, long term, this stuff can turn into other things. And especially with estrogens, we need to be thinking about how can we support our detoxification system better. And B6 is one of them. It helps with estrogen detoxification. It also helps with bringing up your progesterone, which is awesome. If you saw my most recent article on larissaness.com on my blog, I talk about that and how there's a connection also between histamine and progesterone and vitamin B6. So I would really recommend going over there and checking that out. Let's see, other things that vitamin B6 can help with would be, it helps to balance blood sugar, super important. When your blood sugar is out of whack, it also depletes your neurotransmitters. So it's this big cycle. All of these things start affecting all of the other systems in the body and depleting other nutrients and minerals. Vitamin B6 also helps relieve histamine intolerance. And that actually goes back to part of my blog post that I recently did. So some signs of histamine intolerance can be anxiety, insomnia, headaches, brain fog, and the more obvious things like nasal congestion, allergies, swelling, some of those things. B6 helps to clear histamine by upregulating the DAO enzyme. Let's see. So I want to go into dosage, because I know a lot of people are out there just trying to guess. And you really can't guess with this kind of stuff. You really need to do what's been proven and what's been shown to work through clinical trials, clinical studies, and go with what has been working in practices, like whether you're following a functional medicine doctor or you're working with a natural health practitioner, an integrative health practitioner like myself. We're using the dosages that we know that works and that we see tests before and after. So that's really important. Because there's people out there that say, oh, well, it doesn't work, or it didn't work for me. Well, what were you taking? Was it something just from Walgreens? Was it good quality? I don't know. If it was off Amazon, sometimes even supplements on Amazon have been filled with inert white powder. So you really want to go with a trusted source, either from a brand that's recommended by your practitioner and the dosage recommended by your practitioner. That's the best way to do it. But I understand there's a lot of people out there, maybe for financial reasons, they can't work with somebody one-on-one. And that's why I'm trying to do more of these videos to give people more information. So follow me on Instagram if you aren't, because I try to put out that kind of content on a regular basis. On Instagram, it's just @LarissaNess. It's my handle, and I just recently started a TikTok, which is @LarissaNess Wellness, which you can follow me there too. But yeah, so going into dosage, most people need between about 25 and 50 milligrams a day. Now, I mentioned how genetics can play a role with pyroluria, right? So check out that, that blog post that I did on that. So you can go up to about 100 milligrams a day, 150 max. Just keep in mind, they've shown with long-term dosage, 200 plus, that can lead to nerve damage. So you need to be careful. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but tingling in the arms and the feet, shooting nerve pains, those can be signs that you have taken too much, overdose. And also keep in mind, high doses of vitamin B6 can deplete magnesium. All of vitamins and minerals, by the way, are synergistic. They work synergistically. So you don't want to just take one thing. If you are just trying things on your own, the best place to start is with a really good high quality multivitamin that has activated, methylated, more bioavailable forms of these B vitamins in the multivitamin. And then if you need extra B vitamins on top of that, I would do a really good quality activated B complex on top of that. And then, and this is exactly how I do it in my practice. And then if we need to go a little bit higher in other things, maybe B12 or folate or B6, we will. But if you're working on underlying root causes with your practitioner, finding out why you're deficient, do you have digestive problems? That maybe you don't even know about, candida overgrowth, bacterial imbalances, if you're getting things like acid reflux, these need to be taken care of so that you can start absorbing things through your food. And I'm going to actually get into that in just a second, food sources of vitamin B6, because you can get quite a bit from your food. If you're eating a healthy diet, you can get a lot of your nutrients that you need from food. But I will say that our soils are slowly being depleted, and our plants just don't have what they had, 50 years ago. You can look at some of the research on that, and it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. So really, most people need to be taking a good quality multivitamin as a basic. And if you struggle with mood issues, that is a definite sign that you need more B vitamins. So you may also benefit from a high quality B complex on top of that. And of course, get to those underlying root causes. But yeah, so make sure you're taking a pyridoxal 5-phosphate, a more active form of it. And like I said, always start with the B complex first, because you can deplete other B vitamins. You can deplete other nutrients. You have to be careful. You have to really be careful. So food, that's what I'm going to go into. We just have 2 more things to talk about here. So food sources of vitamin B6. Thank you so much for joining me, by the way. I see Sarah Elizabeth. Hi. So food sources of vitamin B6. So that would be chicken and turkey and salmon, shrimp, lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, spinach, carrots, brown rice, bananas, avocados, sweet red bell pepper. Those are a few. And you can look these things up online. And yeah, it's so nice to be able to get as much as you can from food, because your body knows what to do with it. Just automatically. And then as a natural health practitioner, my job is to try to fill in those gaps. And in order to do that, though, the best way, I'm going to say, is through doing more advanced functional medicine testing. So one of the tests we recommend is an organic acids test, also known as a Candida metabolic and vitamins test. This is a great test for looking at a lot of B vitamins, vitamin B6, B12. It's also going to look at folate metabolism and glutathione, CoQ10, vitamin C, and it also has a whole page on gut health and gut markers, detoxification markers. We can see underlying root causes for why you aren't absorbing or manufacturing your vitamins. So that's really, really important. That's just what I want to end on, is you need to understand why you're not making or absorbing what you need from your diet. Are you under a lot of stress? Well, then you may need to supplement while you are going through these stressful times, because stress depletes a lot of things. I mentioned it earlier at the beginning, but you really need to focus on B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, as I didn't actually mention that one, vitamin C. These can all be depleted. Usually first, glutamine gets depleted. So it's really, really important because that if we're under high levels of stress, it affects the nervous system, and then it starts to break down the intestinal lining, the gut lining, and then that can lead to digestive issues. As you know, that's one thing I specialize in because I want to get to the root cause and make sure you're absorbing everything first, and then we go back and we replenish. And that's when testing like a hair test, a hair tissue mineral analysis test, what we call the complete minerals and metals test, can come in so handy, because then we're looking at not only levels of stress, but levels of these nutrients that contribute and help you buffer stress, magnesium, calcium, and we're looking at minerals like zinc and copper. And those all are super important also for mood issues and neurotransmitters. They all play together. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I would love to hear from you. Follow me on well, you can follow me on TikTok now. I just started this new account. Follow me on Instagram though. I really suggest Instagram because I'm pretty active on there. I try to post on there on a regular basis. So that's my wrap of vitamin B6. If you have any questions about at-home lab testing that you can do, that's super simple. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. Go to my website, larissaness.com, and you can just purchase a lab kit, an at-home lab test kit online, and the purchase will include the cost of a consultation with me, and I'll give you a whole personalized wellness plan based on your test results. And then for people that want more in-depth work, I have a concierge wellness practice, a private, it's all virtual. We talk over Zoom, but an email, but that's where people are needing help. They've already tried a lot of things on their own and they're just tired of guessing. They need that guidance to help them through different protocols and troubleshooting different diet items and whatnot. So, okay, thank you so much. It was fun talking with you. Talk to you later.